ep1.
Did you hear that? Do you ever sense that someone's watching you? Have you glimpsed a fleeting shadow out of the corner of your eye and turned only to find that there's no one there? Terrifying, isn't it? In these tales, we reveal for Churchyard and a soldier from the English Civil War who shows himself in Saffron Walden. We took our psychic medium, Lizzie Faulkner, to both investigate these, and of course, everything reveals from her spontaneous. We begin at St. Mary's Church, out and on the hill. The path leads through the graveyard to this very...
But I certainly do now. I'm a very down-to-earth sort of a person. If I see something, then I'm prepared to acknowledge it's there. But I've had to do some pretty heavy rethinking on the subject. I was an engineer working for the Southern Water Authority. I was in charge of sewage works. Not a place where I think you would normally find ghosts. I've always been a Christian, and I do believe that this life is not the final story. It doesn't come to an end. That the human spirit lives on. I believe, as I say now, that this life is really an apprenticeship for what is to come. And therefore, it becomes very important that we do the right things now.
You'd think a churchyard at night time would be the last place you'd want to go. All those moving shadows lying in wait behind the tombstones. But in fact, I thought this old churchyard seemed a rather beautiful, uplifting and serene sort of place. You see, ghosts aren't always out to get you. In part 2, a ghostly tale dating back to the English Civil War. Don't go away. This is a ghostly tale dating from the English Civil War. It concerns a 500-year-old hotel in Saffron Walden. As ever, Lizzie knew nothing of the story or the people concerned before she went to the Cross Keys in the High Street. Here she met Chrissy, the assistant manager, and Gabby, one of the hotel staff.
Okay, I'm getting that this place is a place of two halves for some reason. That's what I'm being told.
Yeah.
I'm drawn to male, and I'm just trying to pick up on why he's here. a dispute. I'm getting there was a dispute over the ownership of this place. The feeling I get is that he felt he was meant to be here, but somebody else bullied him out. I'm now drawn to his boots, and for some reason his boots are very noisy. I want to say that on the bottom of these boots there's metal on the bottom of these boots. If you hear footsteps, I would say that they're pretty loud.
It's quite scary.
You all right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to give you a little bit more of a picture here. He tells me that he frequents this area here, and I need to go down with him as well.
Oh, no. Oh, I've got
Strange.
Sorry. Okay, well, before we go any further, I need to... he wants me to go downstairs. I presume, being in a bar here, we've got a cellar to go to.
Yeah.
But before we do that, tell me what you've experienced in this area here.
The only experience that I've actually had myself is I'd opened up at 11 o'clock one morning. I'd got one customer in with his little girl, and they were sitting over there in the corner. And I was standing at this end of the bar, and a glass jumped from this top shelf here and landed on the ground and didn't even break. Normally they would break.
Yeah.
And it didn't even bother, it didn't sort of, oh, someone probably put it on the shelf, wonky or something like that. But, and I picked it up and I put it back underneath here, and all my hairs on my arms all stood up.
So you did get a big shock.
Yeah, I did, just a little bit.
Yeah. Had you thought before then?
Well, no. I mean, there's so many stories that are going around about what's happened here in the past, and I'm going, oh yeah. But I am very sceptical. I'm intrigued, and I think I'd be very frightened if anything really did happen to me. But I am very sceptical. And I don't frighten very easily, that's the only thing.
Yes, I'm picking up that he needed to prove something to you here.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So there is definitely something here.
Can we go to the cellar? Would that be all right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No.
Right, okay. Which way do we go? This way or that
It's
way?
that way,
That
yeah.
way. Through here? You've clearly got more than one cellar here, but we've come down to this. I understand from our crew that we had a problem trying to get in, and that they had to pick the lock.
That's right.
And I understand that it was actually locked from the inside, so obviously somebody didn't want to be found down here. And again, I'm picking up on this man. He was hiding from other people. That's why he came down here, and he still feels the need to hide down here. There was a lot of noise, and people walked in and took over. People who walk in have got weapons. That's what I'm getting. So that would draw me to soldiers of some form or other. 2 soldiers in particular would have bullied him and taken over this place. And, he's sort of fighting for his property, saying, it's mine, it's mine.
That's amazing.
I'm also seeing a piece of paper, like a document that's been shown to him to say, sorry, this is not yours anymore, this belongs to this man that... I want to say the king, but he's not the king. Do you understand what I mean by that? I want to say that he's a ruler, but not a king.
Oliver Cromwell used to stay here, and yeah, definitely, Oliver Cromwell.
Okay, and the soldiers?
Yes, because in the hotel part, people have heard footsteps up and down the corridors, like marching.
With the metal boots, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I would sense that what he would do, if you were to come down here, is to get your attention, possibly even by touching you, but there's a feeling that he just wants you to know that he's here. And he did pass away in this building, but refused to go, refused to move on because he wanted to claim back what was rightfully his. Okay, shall we go to somewhere else now in the building? Would that be all right?
Yes, let's go.
Well, you lead the way, and I sort of feel we need to go upstairs now. So
Okay.
that'll be all right. Thank you. This goes back to the man we talked about before. It's the same spirit. We've got the same spirit wandering around the whole area around here. There's a very strong energy, and he does turn things on and off, and he does move things, and he does. I mean, he's good at it.
That's when it would explain that radio at least once a week suddenly goes volume straight up and then straight down, and we can't explain it.
This happened to you, did it, Gabby?
It happens to everyone all the time in the kitchen when we've got that radio on. The volume always goes right up and then right down. He has moved plates
things.
down, or when
The banana
sort of-
split
yeah.
dishes.
And
From
he-
there.
down the bottom. I wasn't here when it happened, but someone else who doesn't work here anymore jumped from off the shelf up there and smashed up against the wall and just broke all over there. And there was nobody down there. She was at this end of the kitchen.
Incredible. As I mentioned before, I sort of pick up that he is such a strong energy that he's visual. Do you remember we talked about that when I first came here? Have either of you actually seen him?
Funny you should say that. I was just about standing where you were, or maybe just further back, and it was one evening when we had just closed up the pub, and I looked up and saw a black figure just over there. I got goose pimples all over.
Right. And how did you feel?
I was scared and chills all over.
Yeah.
I ran back out through there into the bar.
Right.
Did not come back in here the rest of the night. It was scary.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I mean, it's very startling when you see something like that.
Yeah.
It's been a very interesting place to visit here, and I'm sure that the people who come to stay here find it very interesting as well. It's just steeped in history, which is great. But it's a wonderful place. You've got a fantastic place here, and thank you very much for asking me to come today. I hope I've been of some help.
Definitely. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Good. Very much.
Good. Thank you.
Because you know that there's something here from the past, you know that they're here, and you just sort of, they're part of your everyday life. But no, I'm not frightened, no, I don't think I am.
I don't really know if I believe in ghosts, but I do believe there is something there in the spirit, or something unusual going on. But ghosts, but when I think of ghosts, I think of Casper, flying around, looking all white, flying around. I don't picture that, but yeah, I do believe there is something here from the past.
Yes, I think we definitely have got a haunted pub here.
Spooky.
Definitely.
So there you have it, the ghostly tale of a frightened hotel owner persecuted by Oliver Cromwell. It's absolutely true about the cellar. The lock had been dislodged from inside the door. It took the film crew about 20 minutes with a torch and bits of bent wire to realign the lock through the keyhole before they could open the door. Very strange. There you are then. Till next time. Sleep well. If you can.
Next time, Joss Ackland returns with the ghostly tale of an abandoned child in a Northampton pub and an entire family of ghosts in a Suffolk cottage. If you have a ghostly tale of your own, why not tell us about it? Call us on 01603 752 358. Standard call rates apply.